So the holidays are quickly approaching, and we're spending the day in downtown Toronto. You may have also noticed that we've been inundated with so-called immersive experiences. So far, these exhibits have been focused on artists such as Van Gogh and Monet, but we're here to see the Nutcracker. We've come to see the Nutcracker looking for some holiday cheer, and we're quite skeptical of the experience. This first shot is from an elevated platform in the middle of the room to get a lay of the lands. The room itself is rectangular, and there are some structural elements that are being hidden with reflective surfaces. Those digital curtains you see on the wall are there throughout the show and are basically bookending the projections. This means that although your view is 360 degrees, the image will repeat itself. At this end of the room where the screen was, there was a mirrored pole which you can see is blocking some of the title of the Nutcracker. As you can see, most people are seated facing the wall, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a 360-degree projection. Some of these animated elements do make a lap around the room, so you can follow them around. I haven't said anything about the actual production or narrative, but I'll let the tape run and you can judge for yourself. I zoomed in on the projection here just to show an example of the quality of the picture. In this shot, you can see the projection competing with some of the elements in the room. At the end of the show, there was some bubble snow coming from the ceiling, which I guess is an attempt at immersiveness. This is just an example of the projection on the floor during the experience. This is not an extension of what's going on the screen, nor is it interactive. I'm not sure what I was expecting coming into this exhibit, but I was expecting more than just visuals. I don't know, maybe some live performers? Some scents like candies and hot chocolate? Maybe a blast of some cold air? Maybe some animatronics or something that falls from the ceiling? I just don't think whatever this was meets the criteria for immersive. And that is to say nothing of the actual production, which was mediocre at best. The Nutcracker may have been a bust, but look who we found.
Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
Our next stop is Little Canada, a new attraction in downtown Toronto, whose opening date was delayed from July of 2020 to August of 2021 due to the pandemic. Little Canada features various Canadian landmarks and attractions that have been miniaturized. The model builders for this attraction have been working in a warehouse since 2014, until moving to this venue. The attraction covers 2 floors, but there are still several areas that are work in progress, waiting for the miniatures treatment. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted by Niagara Falls, which should be familiar to tourists and locals alike. As you can see, the models are accompanied by sound and lights, and the animation on the falls is just like you would see in real life. There's a day and night cycle of 15 minutes, and you get the whole dusk and dawn effect. What's interesting about the model is that there's some creative liberties taken. And it's not wholly focused on just being a replica. There's Easter eggs hidden throughout the attraction. In this cutout of the power plant, you get the inside scoop to see what's really powering Toronto. This area of the model even includes the Niagara-on-the-Lake and Niagara wine region. What's unique about the model is that the closer you look, the more you'll see. You can even appreciate the model more after these zoom-in pan shots. The next stop is Little Toronto. From far away, it really doesn't look like much, but it's all in the details. Of course, the Jays are playing and even the dome opens. The championship Raptors team has been immortalized here. If you've ever been stuck in traffic going to downtown Toronto, you'll know this view well. Of course, a model of Toronto is not complete without a construction site. Here's just another example of those weird and wonderful vignettes. These little model cars are actually self-powered and you can follow them across the city. This is the Oktoberfest party in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. In Ottawa, this is what's imagined to be inside the CRA building. Every night in Ottawa is Canada Day, which comes complete with projection mapping and fireworks. At the hotel in Ottawa, each room is telling a unique story. You can really take your time and admire the craft of each room. I'll spare you the details for your own visit, but here is a room from Canada's own Schitt's Creek.
You know what, David? You get murdered first for once.
Quebec is also represented here, and of course, it's always winter in Quebec. There's a different level of appreciation when you're familiar with the landscape. But even if you haven't been to the region, the details are still impressive. Here you can even see the workshop where they're working on the next exhibit. Here you can ask the modelers questions, and I was told it'll take additional 2 years to make the next area. This is a sneak peek of Little North, which will be housed in a refrigerated room. In addition to featuring a little Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, considering the show that we saw this morning, this one's definitely worth the visit. I think we spent about 2.5 hours here.